What up? We're going to jump right into it today. And today's video is in my opinion, the whole point of life, of existence. All is self. You can say all is mind, all is self, all is God, whatever. You can give it any name, any way that you can understand it best, you can call it that. But there's nothing to change but the one self, okay? And to preface this video before I start, it's been a little while since I've posted because I've been thinking about changing the topics of what I post and the content that is within what I post, what I talk about. So anything that I've excelled in life or accomplished, I can talk about. And if there's anything that you would like to understand from my perspective, which I try to give everything from a spiritual, metaphysical lens. So I can talk about how to get jacked, how to make money, how to have better relationships, really anything, because everything is the same. And honestly, if you listen to this video and understand the point that I'm trying to bring across, then you should be able to get whatever you desire, whatever you want in life with ease, because there is nothing to get. And first you have to understand that. So this starts with self. There's nothing to change but self. There's nothing to see. There's nothing that you see in this world that isn't a reflection of you. And what I mean by this is the person that you are, the mental image in your mind that comes up when you think of yourself, when you think of who you are, and when you think of how you as an individual relate to different aspects in your life. So who I am, and this I am, which is everything. This is the essence of existence, the universe, and you can call it whatever you like. I like saying I am. So I am, who that is. From my perspective, I see it through my lens, through my eyes, through my body, through my brain. And you see it from your lens, through your eyes, through your body, through your brain. So it is going to be perceived differently because you and I perceive things differently. We perceive time differently. We perceive coffee differently. We perceive water differently, depending on any number of factors. Water, for example, can be perceived differently due to environmental and geographical locations. If I live in the desert, I am going to see water as a scarce resource. And because of that, I will cherish it more than someone who lives next to a lake, for example. And maybe not 100%, but you get what I'm saying. If you live, or the way certain things appear in your life are due to the way you perceive them. So if you perceive water to be a scarcity and a resource that you do not have a lot of access to, then it will be higher up on your list of what you want and what you desire. Whereas for me, water is all around me, everywhere, and it is abundant. And it always has been abundant in my life. So it is never something that I am in need of, which I am grateful for and lucky for that. But my point there is this water, the way you view it, the way you see it in your life, I would assume most of you see it as abundance in your life. You have access to water at all times. At any moment, you can go and get water. You are never not able to acquire water, or probably food. Maybe sometimes, yes, but food, water are resources you need. Your body needs to live. And you probably have no problem acquiring and receiving these resources. But you struggle. You struggle in relationships. You struggle financially. You struggle maybe with your living situation, with relationships with people you live with, or relationships with friends. It could be any number of things. With a job, getting a job. Maybe you struggle getting a job or keeping a job. Maybe you struggle with relating to coworkers and getting along with people at work. Whatever it is, it could be any number of things. For some reason, you struggle in life with something. And that is universal. Everyone struggles with something in life. There is not one person that you will meet that isn't currently struggling with something. And this is the way I see it, the whole illusion of this existence, of this reality. You see and perceive things as a struggle because we are biological creatures. Like I was talking about before, with water and food, those are necessary resources that you need to survive. I'm sure you can find examples of people, gurus, sadhus, who do not need any food or water. And I've seen a few examples of this. And if that's something you want to strive for in your life, by all means, go for it. Because you can get whatever you want in your reality. But anything that is limited in your reality is limited due to you, due to yourself and how you perceive it, how you perceive things in your reality, and how you interact with and align with things in your reality. So we are biological creatures and we are wired to survive. Our nervous system, our brain, our body wants to survive. It's a species. We want to survive and reproduce. So there's certain things that are hardwired into us that we cannot escape, or we think we cannot escape. And therefore we kind of we can live on autopilot. And from this essence, from this place of being rooted in survival, being stuck in survival mode. And from there, we can, if you can understand how the way you are and the way you act and interact with the world around you automatically happens from a biological perspective, from the perspective of you as a biological being interacting with different objects in your life that can either hurt or help your survival, then you can see how some things such as finances or relationships can be a struggle to people. Because like with food and water, if food and water is a resource that you struggle to get, then you're not going to be concerned with making money. You're not going to be concerned with getting a girlfriend or boyfriend. You don't give a fuck about that. Why? Because all you care about in that moment is surviving and getting to the next moment. And this is an issue because you are putting yourself in the biological mindset and the wiring of, I need to survive. I need to achieve. I need to get something. And you are stating in that moment that self, who you are being right now, is not enough, does not have enough, is not fulfilled, is not content. And yeah, if you are in need of food and you're starving and you feel like you're going to starve to death, then yeah, it's hard as fuck to assume and feel within fulfillment or contentment. But this is what you need. Most of you are probably not in need of food to survive. And if you are, then obviously do what you need to do in order to achieve that. But for most of us, we have the privilege to have access to food every day, all the time. And we struggle in other aspects of life. In the way, this has been a very long-winded point of getting to what I'm about to say, but I believe it's necessary to understand why you may be experiencing things in life in a way that is undesirable to you. And it's because of the way you relate to these things in your life. So if you have the mindset that life is hard, life is difficult, and if you've ever experienced biological needs to survive and lived in that survival mode for a long period of time, then that is where your body is going to naturally exist in, and you are going to associate things from that perspective. And that is tough to get out of, but it can be escaped, or it can be changed. And so what you need to do is understand self. You need to go within and see who you are being in all aspects of the day, in all moments of the day, in all aspects of your life. That's what I meant to say. In all aspects of your life, in every moment of the day. Who are you being? And in those moments, what do you see in your life? How do you react with something? So relationships is an easy one that I can give an example on. We'll do a relationship with a significant other. With your significant other, first of all, do you have one? Do you not have one? Do you have a harmonious relationship? Do you have a relationship where you have a lot of issues and you're fighting all the time? All of these things are telltale signs of where you are dwelling internally, mentally, within, on these subjects, on this subject of relationships. Because ultimately, the world will only give you who you are. It is not fair. It is not just. It is not even. But it is true. It is true in the sense that who you are being at any given moment will be given back to you. Okay? Who you are being is what the world, the mirror of our reality, will reflect back to you. So, relationships. If you are single, I was single for a long time, so I can give this perspective pretty easily. What do you see in that capacity? Do you think it's difficult for you to get relationships? Do you think that relationships don't come to you easily, or you'll never be able to find someone who relates to you or who truly loves you, or any number of things? Anytime you have a relationship, there is pain and heartbreak and trauma associated with it. These, unfortunately, are natural and pretty normal, I would say nowadays, experiences of relationships. And that sucks because it shouldn't be that way. But if it is that way, you need to do some, for you, if it is that way, you need to do some evaluating of yourself and where that topic, that idea, that thought form exists within you. How does it exist within you? We very often are quick to point the blame to someone else in our life, to something else in our life, instead of accepting the true cause of anything, which is ourself and the way we view ourselves. If you view yourself as someone who is enough, who is worthy of love, who is a perfect being, who is worthy of all that they desire and worthy of love, then love, and you truly love yourself because you know who you are. You know that the I am, the essence of you is within you and within everything else in life. Then you will relate to everything in that way. And you will not experience struggle. You will not experience depravity. You will not experience lack because you are whole, you are fulfilled within. And so even if you do experience moments or points in time of lack of love, lack of fulfillment or abundance in life, you know that this is just a reflection and it's not who you truly are. If you truly love yourself and truly see yourself as worthy, as enough, and can give to yourself, then in every moment you are good. Because you know the true essence of who you are, of what life is, of what reality is. That everything is the same and is a fragment of the universe, reflected and experienced in a different way by yourself. Everything is experienced as self, experiencing self. So there's no separation between you and abundance, between you and a good relationship. It's hard to conceptualize it because we think of ideas and certain items, certain aspects of life as separate from who we are. But in reality, nothing is separate from who we are. So that is why it's so important to understand who you are and how you relate to your life, to any aspect of your life, to any given point in your life. You can go into we're so powerful. We can go into the future. We can go into the past and make that moment real right now. Okay. And right now, this moment is the only moment that it truly exists, that is truly real. Nothing else is real outside of now. And in this now moment, you can see what that means for you. So if you're struggling financially and all you can think about is how broke you are, how are you going to afford to pay rent this month? How are you going to pay your bills? All you do is get bills. All you do is receive more debt. Then of course that's what you're going to experience because that's what you're saying you are. And you are not this isolated, small, limited, fragmented self that we are led to believe we are, but you are one with the entire universe. You are the universe experiencing itself through you. And that is a blessing. And this is how you need to reframe your mind to see life and to see the world around you. Even if it is difficult, it will be beneficial. Ultimately, you need to see your life as a blessing. You need to be grateful for what you have. You need to understand that everything, even the undesirable aspects of reality are you. There's no difference from you. And when you truly understand that even the most undesirable aspects of humanity, of reality, which I think I want to cover in another video because no one talks about it, at least I haven't seen anyone, but the most undesirable aspects of humanity that we don't even like to think about. And I think you can come up with a couple examples of that on your own. Even those are versions of you. Yeah, that sucks to grapple with, to grasp mentally, to wrestle with that. That's tough. That's real tough. But it's true. Because the universe is one singular being. It is a singularity. Consciousness is a singularity. It is everything and nothing simultaneously. But you are everything. And who you are is so important because the way you see yourself, the way you truly envision you, the unique aspect of consciousness that is you, the way you see that, the way you understand that, and the way you acknowledge that is the way that life shows that to you. So if you see yourself as someone who is ugly and broken and depleted and nothing ever works out for you, how do you expect anything to work out for you if this is where your mind is dwelling on who you are at all times? Everything comes from mind. All is mind. Everything comes from within. Okay? All is source. All is the universe. So if you view the universe as an ungrateful piece of shit and an unloving, unkind universe that always makes you suffer and makes everyone on the planet suffer, then that's what you're going to see. And that is how you are going to experience your reality. Because not everyone in the world thinks that way. Not everyone in the world thinks that everyone suffers, that suffering is inherent in reality. Not everyone thinks that. The vast majority do, but it isn't true for everyone. And you can extrapolate this and look at this with any concept, with everything. And it's really simple. It's not going to be easy, but it's simple. So look at yourself honestly. Look at your life honestly. Look at who you are honestly. Look at where you are honestly. And accept it, first of all. And understand that the power to change that lies within you. It is up to you to change anything in your life. And it all starts with self. It all starts with accepting who you are, accepting the way you are, and understanding that there is nothing to achieve, there's nothing to receive, there's nothing to get. Because all is here now. And this moment that exists contains everything you could ever need or want. And the biggest illusion that we believe in is the fact that we need to get something in our life. We need to do something with our life. But, of course, it's nice to enjoy and experience life from a beneficial aspect to yourself. So whatever it is you desire, whatever it is you want to have, give it to yourself. Fulfill it within. But take an honest look at yourself and see why you don't have what it is that you want right now. And you'll find out that you are the one who limits yourself. No one is limiting you but you. There's nothing to change but self. I love you.